You know that feeling, right? When the alarm goes off and your body gets up, but your spirit just stays behind, like something's missing, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe life feels a little stale, or your job just isn't sparking joy like it used to. It's a quiet drain, a slow drip that can subtly steal the magic from your days. But what if there's a way to rekindle that spark, to rediscover the vibrant feeling of being truly alive and engaged? Today, we're diving deep into the wisdom of Dale Carnegie, a master at helping us unlock the hidden power in life's small moments and find profound joy in the everyday. Stick around, because the insights we're about to share aren't just advice, they're keys to transforming your experience, and you won't want to miss a single one. Carnegie understood that life isn't just a series of tasks to endure. It's an adventure waiting to be fully lived, often through simple, powerful shifts in perspective. If you're ready to stop letting life slip by and start truly savoring every moment, from your work to your relationships, then this video is for you. We'll show you how to turn mundane routines into meaningful missions, how to banish anxiety, and how to embrace every day with renewed energy. So if you're curious to unlock a more fulfilling life, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, because we're about to embark on a journey that could change everything. Dale Carnegie masterfully articulates a fundamental truth that many of us often overlook. The only moment we truly possess is the present. He emphasizes that we have only today, neither yesterday nor tomorrow. Whatever needs to be done, whatever actions need to be taken, must be done now, in this very moment. This might sound like a deceptively simple concept, easily understood yet profoundly challenging to implement. In reality, when we attempt to live by this principle, our minds are quick to conjure 1,000 excuses, creating elaborate narratives to justify procrastination. We tell ourselves, "I'll start tomorrow. I need a bit more planning," or "let me think about it a little longer." And slowly, insidiously, life itself slips away in the endless cycle of planning and overthinking. The vibrant tapestry of experience becomes a dull outline, overshadowed by the phantom of future possibilities. Carnegie offers a powerful antidote to this pervasive habit. He advises us to perceive each day as a complete and distinct lifetime. In itself, imagine that today is your entire life, a full cycle of existence. Tomorrow will be a separate, entirely new life. This perspective immediately imbues every minute, every interaction, and every task with a renewed sense of urgency and importance. It shifts our focus from the broad, overwhelming panorama of an entire life to the manageable, tangible reality of a single day. When you begin to view your days through this lens, a remarkable transformation occurs. Even the most mundane details, those previously dismissed as trivial or bothersome, acquire a fresh significance. Your work, which might have felt like a headache or an insurmountable burden, begins to feel different. Phone calls, once a monotonous chore, no longer seem boring. A simple, genuine laugh, a comforting cup of tea enjoyed in a quiet moment, a quick call to check in on a friend. These seemingly insignificant actions suddenly become incredibly precious. They are no longer just fleeting instances, but vital components of your today, each contributing to the richness and fullness of your current existence. This perspective allows us to savor the small joys and acknowledge the inherent value in every passing moment, preventing us from continually deferring happiness to an elusive future. It encourages mindfulness, compelling us to be fully present in our actions and experiences, rather than allowing our minds to drift into anxieties about what lies ahead or regrets about what has passed. Consider the profound impact of this mindset on your daily activities. Instead of rushing through tasks merely to get to the next one, you approach them with a deeper sense of engagement. The preparation of a meal becomes an act of creation, a conversation with a colleague transforms into a meaningful exchange, and a walk in the park becomes an opportunity for quiet contemplation and appreciation of nature. By treating each day as a miniature lifetime, you are compelled to make the most of its unique offerings, to extract every ounce of joy and meaning from its fleeting hours. This isn't about ignoring long-term goals or responsibilities. Rather, it's about grounding your efforts in the present, ensuring that your journey is as fulfilling as your destination. It fosters a sense of gratitude for the simple fact of existence, enabling you to recognize the inherent beauty and potential in every single day. This philosophy, while seemingly straightforward, holds the key to unlocking a life that is not just lived, but deeply experienced and truly enjoyed. The concept of loving your work, as Dale Carnegie reveals, is not an external reward or a magical enchantment bestowed upon you. It is profoundly an art that must be cultivated from within. It isn't a prize your boss grants you, nor is it a sudden spark of inspiration that originates from outside forces. Rather, it is a seed, a delicate but powerful potential that you yourself must actively sow and nurture each and every day. This analogy of sowing a seed is crucial because it emphasizes the continuous, deliberate effort required to foster a deep connection with your professional life. It's not a one-time decision, but an ongoing commitment. Carnegie's first piece of advice in cultivating this internal love for your work is to accord your work the respect it deserves. This principle transcends the objective measure of a job's perceived status or significance in the eyes of the world. Whether your task is seemingly small and inconsequential, or grand and widely recognized, the imperative remains the same. You must approach it with your whole heart, with unwavering dedication and full commitment. This isn't about external validation. It's about an internal posture. Why is this deep respect so crucial? Carnegie explains that to love your work is, in essence, to love yourself. This statement unveils a profound psychological connection between your professional engagement and your self-worth. Your daily actions, every minute you dedicate to your work, are meticulously crafting the narrative of your life. Every task you undertake, every problem you solve, every interaction you have within your professional sphere contributes to the grand story of who you are becoming. If you approach your work with indifference, if you neglect it, or if you simply go through the motions, you are in effect neglecting yourself. You are choosing to write a less compelling, less fulfilling chapter in your own autobiography. This subtle yet powerful form of self-neglect can have insidious consequences. Slowly but surely, this unacknowledged disinterest, this pervasive apathy towards your work, begins to tighten its grip on your very soul. It can manifest as a general lack of enthusiasm, a creeping sense of boredom, or even a feeling of being trapped. Over time, this unaddressed neglect can lead to a profound sense of spiritual constriction, making you feel uninspired, drained, and detached from your own potential. Conversely, when you infuse your work with respect and genuine effort, you are simultaneously affirming your own value and investing in your own growth. You are actively choosing to engage with a significant portion of your waking life in a meaningful way. This internal shift transforms mundane tasks into opportunities for personal development and creative expression. The quality of your work improves, not just because you are trying harder, but because your attitude has fundamentally changed. You begin to notice nuances, identify opportunities for improvement, and derive satisfaction from accomplishments that previously went unrecognized. This process fosters a virtuous cycle. The more you love and respect your work, the better you become at it, and the more intrinsic satisfaction you derive, which in turn deepens your love for it. This isn't about being blindly optimistic or ignoring legitimate challenges. It's about recognizing that your relationship with your work is largely a reflection of your relationship with yourself, and by consciously choosing to elevate one, you elevate the other. How often do we begin our days, and indeed our lives, immersed in a litany of complaints? The office feels miles away, the boss is excessively demanding, colleagues seem unsupportive, and the list goes on. Dale Carnegie posits a remarkably insightful truth. Every complaint is a chosen story. This powerful statement challenges the notion that our frustrations are merely external forces imposed upon us. Instead, it suggests that we actively participate in constructing the narrative of our own discontent. The implication is profound. If we are the storytellers, then we possess the inherent power to change the narrative. We can, if we so choose, transform our chosen story and begin to perceive a new meaning in every circumstance, no matter how challenging it initially appears. Consider, for instance, the common complaint of a long commute. Rather than framing it as a tedious waste of time, Carnegie encourages us to reimagine it. What if this extended journey became your dedicated me time? This could be a precious opportunity to immerse yourself in podcasts, to lose yourself in music, or simply to engage in quiet contemplation and organize your thoughts without interruption. The perceived burden transforms into a personal sanctuary, a space for self-improvement or relaxation. Similarly, a strict or demanding boss, often a source of frustration, could be reframed not as an oppressive figure, but as a catalyst for your growth. Perhaps their rigor and high expectations are, in fact, subtly pushing you to refine your skills, to elevate your performance, and ultimately to become a more competent and resilient professional. What seems like harshness might actually be a hidden form of mentorship, challenging you to reach new heights. Even the perceived lack of cooperation from colleagues, a common workplace grievance, can be viewed through a different lens. Instead of feeling unsupported, consider this as a unique opportunity to cultivate and demonstrate your leadership skills. Perhaps this situation demands that you take initiative, foster collaboration, or develop new strategies for working effectively within a less-than-ideal team dynamic. This challenge, then, becomes a training ground for resilience, problem-solving, and influential communication. Carnegie is not suggesting that adopting this perspective will magically eliminate difficulties or instantly transform all negative circumstances into positive ones. He acknowledges that this is not a magical solution. However, he asserts that gradually, almost imperceptibly, your eyes will begin to change. And when your way of seeing changes, when your perception shifts, the entire world around you transforms. This isn't about denying reality or suppressing genuine feelings. It's about actively choosing a more empowering and constructive interpretation of that reality. It's about recognizing that while external events may be beyond our immediate control, our internal response and the story we choose to tell ourselves about those events are entirely within our power. This conscious reframing impacts not only our emotional well-being but also our actions. When you stop complaining and start looking for opportunities within challenges, you become more proactive, more resilient, and ultimately more effective. You move from a passive state of victimhood to an active stance of empowerment. This subtle but profound shift in mindset can unlock untapped potential, reveal hidden solutions, and lead to a more fulfilling and less stressful experience of both work and life. By choosing to change our story, we effectively change our experience of the world. Dale Carnegie delves deeply into the pervasive nature of anxiety, labeling it a false charisma. This intriguing phrase suggests that worry possesses a deceptive allure, a captivating power that draws us in by showing us exaggerated visions of immense troubles that, in reality, frequently never materialize. Anxiety thrives in the realm of hypothetical catastrophes, often creating elaborate scenarios of doom that exist primarily within our minds. It presents itself as a necessary precaution, a vigilant guardian, but in truth it saps our energy and paralyzes our ability to act effectively. Carnegie offers a remarkably simple yet profoundly effective strategy for combating this insidious force. Immerse yourself completely in work. When you dedicate yourself wholeheartedly to your tasks, when your mind is fully engaged in productive activity, there is simply no remaining space for worry to occupy. The focused energy required for meaningful work effectively pushes anxiety out of your mental landscape. The mind, being a powerful tool, tends to concentrate on whatever it is directed towards. If left undirected, it often defaults to dwelling on fears and uncertainties. However, when purposefully engaged in a task, its capacity for anxious rumination diminishes significantly. He illustrates this point with a compelling anecdote about a very prominent businessman whose enterprise faced utter ruin. The immense stress brought him to the brink of a heart attack. His doctor delivered a stark warning. If you continue to worry, you will die in 6 months. If you want to live, throw yourself into work, head over heels. The businessman, facing such a dire prognosis, heeded the doctor's counsel. He plunged himself completely into his work, dedicating every fiber of his being to rebuilding. Within a few years, he not only established a new, successful business, but also defied the doctor's ominous prediction, living a full life, This story powerfully demonstrates how active engagement can be a potent antidote to debilitating worry. The man did not simply stop worrying through willpower. He replaced the mental space previously consumed by anxiety with constructive action. Therefore, the next time anxiety begins to gnaw at you, remember Carnegie's advice: get to work. Immerse yourself fully, completely, as if you were leaping into a river, taking a deep dive. This isn't about avoiding your feelings. It's about transforming unproductive emotional states into productive ones. When your hands are busy, your mind is often too occupied to entertain the corrosive thoughts of anxiety. Carnegie encapsulates this idea beautifully with a concise yet profound statement: busy hands drive away worry. This aphorism serves as a practical mantra, reminding us that physical and mental activity can be our greatest allies in maintaining peace of mind. It suggests that by channeling our energy into tangible tasks, we effectively displace the abstract fears that often plague us. The act of doing, of being engaged, becomes a powerful force for mental tranquility and resilience. It is a testament to the idea that action is not just an outcome of motivation, but often its very source. While it is undoubtedly important to live for oneself and cultivate personal well-being, Dale Carnegie illuminates a profound truth. The ACU serenity derived from making others happy is far deeper and more enduring than any self-serving victory. This perspective challenges the conventional wisdom that often prioritizes individual gain and achievement above all else. Carnegie posits that true, lasting contentment is not solely found in personal triumphs, but in the expansive joy that comes from contributing to the happiness of others. He emphasizes that if you can manage to make the people around you feel even a little bit better, whether through a small compliment, a gentle smile, or an outstretched hand of help, you are often unknowingly illuminating your own life. This concept suggests a beautiful reciprocity. The positive energy and kindness you extend to others naturally flow back to you, enriching your own existence. Happiness, in Carnegie's view, is not a finite resource that diminishes when shared. On the contrary, he argues that happiness does not decrease when shared. It expands, and the more it expands, the more deeply it settles within us. This metaphor of expansion is key. It implies that acts of generosity and kindness create a ripple effect, multiplying the joy not only for the recipient, but also for the giver. The more you give, the more you receive, not necessarily in tangible terms, but in the profound satisfaction and inner peace that comes from contributing positively to the human experience. Consider the simple act of offering a sincere compliment. When you genuinely acknowledge someone's effort or talent, you not only uplift their spirits, but also cultivate a sense of warmth and connection within yourself. A gentle smile, offered freely to a stranger, can brighten their day, and in turn, subtly enhance your own mood. Extending a helping hand to someone in need, whether it's offering practical assistance or simply a listening ear, creates a bond of empathy and gratitude that enriches both lives. These are not grand gestures, but their collective impact is immense. Carnegie's emphasis on generosity underscores the interconnectedness of human beings. Our well-being is not isolated, it is deeply intertwined with the well-being of those around us. When we contribute to a more positive, supportive environment, we inevitably benefit from it ourselves. This principle transcends mere altruism. It is a pragmatic approach to personal fulfillment. By focusing on the happiness of others, we shift our perspective away from self-absorption and into a broader, more empathetic understanding of our place in the world. This outward focus often leads to a reduction in our own anxieties and self-preoccupation, as our energy is directed towards constructive and positive interactions. The wisdom here lies in understanding that genuine happiness is not a commodity to be hoarded, but a current to be circulated. The more freely it flows through acts of kindness and generosity, the more powerfully it nourishes the soul. This reciprocal nature of generosity transforms it from a selfless act into a mutually beneficial one, proving that giving to others is one of the most effective ways to truly enrich one's own life. It's a reminder that our deepest joys are often found not in what we take, but in what we share. The truth is, often in the deepest corridors of our minds, the voices that echo loudest are those we have internalized from the outside world. Someone might have told us you can't do it or you're too ordinary. Perhaps someone mocked our aspirations with a dismissive laugh, and without truly processing, without fighting back, we unknowingly allowed these external voices to become an intrinsic part of our own truth. We adopted them as our own beliefs, shaping our self-perception and limiting our potential. But Dale Carnegie, with his characteristic directness, poses a fundamental and immensely liberating question here. Why? Why do we allow the opinions of others to become greater than our very existence? Why do we permit the criticism of a stranger to become the gallows for our dreams? These questions force us to confront the irrationality of giving so much power to external judgments. Carnegie's answer is a powerful paradigm-shifting statement. What people think of you is their business, not yours. This single sentence, if truly embraced and internalized, has the potential to eliminate half of our worries instantly. It empowers us to reclaim our agency, to understand that our self-worth and our path are not contingent on the fleeting opinions of others. You might argue that this is easier said than done, and indeed, that is the reality. However, Carnegie doesn't leave us without a path forward. He offers practical insights into navigating criticism, suggesting that, first and foremost, we should understand that criticism is often a sign of success. Only those who are actively doing something, those who have a direction, those who are taking flight, become targets of criticism. Who would bother to criticize someone who is stagnant, who is making no moves, who has no aspirations? Think about it. If every dreamer in the world had been deterred by criticism, would there be any towering buildings today? Any remarkable books? Any extraordinary discoveries? The answer is a resounding no. Therefore, the next time someone mocks your efforts, Carnegie advises you to smile, because it signifies that you are moving forward, that you are making an impact, that you are daring to do something beyond the ordinary. Carnegie then suggests a practical exercise. The next time someone judges you or ridicules your work, mentally construct an imaginary wall. On this wall, in large bold letters, write, "This is their thought, not mine." Gradually, you will observe that criticisms no longer pierce your skin. They simply pass through the air like a breeze without touching you. This mental exercise helps to create a psychological distance, allowing you to observe external judgments without internalizing them. He offers another invaluable piece of advice. Filter the truth from the criticism and discard the rest. Within every criticism, there might be a kernel of truth. If you can listen to it without anger, if you can approach it with an open mind, it can become a free teacher, offering insights for growth and improvement. But why carry all the rubbish along with it? Take what is necessary and meaningful, and release the weight of the rest. Your soul, Carnegie reminds us, is not a garbage bin. He reinforces this point with a personal anecdote, the story of a writer who published his first book, only to be savagely attacked by newspapers. Worthless, boring, ineffective. These words appeared in every review, but that writer did not give up. He read the criticisms, learned the essential lessons, and improved his next book. Today, that writer is counted among the most widely read authors in the world. Who was he? Dale Carnegie himself. He too endured the very criticisms he now teaches us to navigate. So the next time criticism arises, consider it a sign that you are alive, moving, and doing something distinctive. It's a testament to your existence and your pursuit of something meaningful. We often fall into a peculiar trap. We celebrate major accomplishments, a promotion, a significant business deal, buying a new home, with great fanfare and excitement. However, what about the myriad of small everyday victories? The simple act of waking up on time, completing a difficult phone call without procrastination, or making it through an entire day without succumbing to worry? Dale Carnegie argues that grand victories are rare. If we merely wait for these monumental achievements to experience joy, a significant portion of our lives will likely be barren and unfulfilled. The essence of true happiness, he contends, lies in these smaller moments, in the cumulative effect of small efforts, and in the cultivation of small positive habits. Carnegie encourages us to ask ourselves each day, What was my small victory today? Initially, this question might seem challenging, as our minds are often conditioned to seek out grand achievements. But when you look closely, with conscious attention, you will undoubtedly find something every day. It could be avoiding a heated argument, managing your emotions more effectively in a challenging situation, or extending a helping hand to someone in need. Carnegie urges us to celebrate these moments, no matter how seemingly insignificant. This celebration could be as simple as a quiet smile to yourself or an internal affirmation of "well done." The act of acknowledgement, however small, reinforces positive behavior and builds a sense of quiet accomplishment. To make this practice tangible, Carnegie provides a highly practical method. Every night before going to sleep, write down 3 good things that happened that day. These can be anything, no matter how trivial. For example, today I ate lunch on time. Today I called my friend and made their day better. Today I managed to work all day without complaining. Gradually, this consistent habit will begin to reshape your thinking. Your mind will naturally shift its focus away from negativity and towards observing the good, the beautiful, and the positive aspects of your day. This isn't about ignoring challenges, but rather about cultivating a habit of gratitude and positive recognition, which can profoundly impact your overall mood and outlook. By intentionally seeking out and acknowledging these minor triumphs, you are essentially reprogramming your brain to appreciate the richness of everyday life. This practice fosters a sense of progress, no matter how incremental, and builds self-esteem. It teaches us that happiness is not a distant peak to be reached, but a mosaic of small, beautiful moments woven together in the fabric of our daily existence. It encourages us to find joy in the process, not just the outcome. This consistent cultivation of gratitude for the small things empowers us to lead more fulfilling and joyful lives, one small victory at a time. It highlights that the cumulative effect of these seemingly minor positive recognitions can lead to a significant and lasting transformation in one's overall happiness and perspective. Dale Carnegie highlights a common human tendency. We often become so engrossed in our own struggles and concerns that we become blind to the challenges and suffering of others. Our focus becomes intensely self-centered, making it difficult to perceive the broader landscape of human experience around us. However, Carnegie reveals that something truly magical happens when you manage to rise above your own minor pains and direct your attention towards others. This outward shift in focus has a transformative effect. Your own pain begins to feel lighter, and your mind experiences a profound sense of clarity. It's as if by alleviating the burdens of others, you inadvertently lighten your own. He illustrates this powerful principle with a compelling anecdote from an office setting. There was a woman who was deeply disappointed about not receiving a promotion, despite months of dedicated effort. Her name was not on the list, and she felt utterly broken inside, consumed by her own sorrow. Yet, amidst her despair, she noticed a new young man on a different team, struggling to learn everything new and frequently making mistakes. Instead of remaining absorbed in her own pain, the woman decided to help him. She set her own disappointment aside and began to mentor the new employee, patiently guiding him. Weeks turned into months, and she observed the young man steadily improve. Then one day, management noticed that this woman was not only excelling in her own work, but was also actively leading and uplifting others. In the very next promotion cycle, her name was at the top of the list. This story is not just a heartwarming tale, it embodies a profound truth. It demonstrates that when you open a door for others, destiny often opens a window for you. This isn't necessarily about immediate transactional rewards, but rather about the natural flow of positive energy and opportunity that arises from selfless acts. When you invest in the growth and well-being of others, you not only contribute to a more positive collective environment, but also subtly enhance your own visibility, credibility, and overall value. By focusing on giving, you inadvertently position yourself to receive. Making space for others involves active empathy and a willingness to transcend self-preoccupation. It requires listening, understanding, and offering support without expecting anything in return. This can manifest in myriad ways, offering genuine encouragement, sharing knowledge, providing constructive feedback, or simply being a compassionate presence for someone facing a difficult time. These acts of generosity build stronger relationships, foster a more collaborative atmosphere, and create a sense of community. Moreover, the act of helping others often provides a powerful shift in perspective. When you witness the struggles of others, or contribute to their success, your own problems can often seem less daunting by comparison. This broader outlook fosters resilience and gratitude, helping you to appreciate your own circumstances more deeply. Ultimately, Carnegie's message here is a testament to the idea that true fulfillment is often found in connection and contribution. By dedicating ourselves to the upliftment of others, we create a ripple effect that ultimately enriches our own lives, proving that the path to personal growth is often paved with selflessness and genuine concern for our fellow human beings. Dale Carnegie offers a profound and liberating perspective on fear. Be afraid, but don't stop. Tremble, but move forward. This statement acknowledges that fear is a natural human emotion, and crucially that its presence is not inherently wrong. In fact, Carnegie suggests that fear is actually proof of being alive. Only individuals who are truly engaged with life experience fear. The critical distinction lies not in the presence of fear, but in what you choose to do with it. If you learn to embrace fear while still moving forward, then fear itself can transform from a paralyzing force into a source of strength and momentum. It ceases to be an inhibitor and becomes a powerful motivator. Carnegie presents a simple yet highly effective technique for managing fear. When fear takes hold of you, break it down into smaller, manageable parts. Ask yourself key questions. What is the worst possible outcome of this fear? And even if that worst-case scenario were to happen, how would I cope? Would I survive? Most often, when you dissect fear into its constituent components, it no longer appears as terrifying as it did from a distance. The amorphous, overwhelming monster of fear often dissolves into a series of smaller, less intimidating challenges when examined closely. This technique is rooted in the understanding that the true power of fear often originates from the darkness of our minds. Fear thrives in the unknown, in the unexamined corners of our consciousness. As soon as you shine a light on it, as soon as you analyze its components and confront its possibilities, it begins to melt away. This is because fear's grip weakens significantly when it is faced with logic and preparedness. When you mentally prepare for the worst, you often realize that even in that scenario, you possess the resilience and resources to adapt and survive. This process demystifies fear, stripping it of its illusory power. Consider, for example, the fear of public speaking. Instead of letting the entire fear paralyze you, break it down. What's the worst that could happen? I could forget my lines. My voice might tremble, people might look bored. Then address each fear. If I forget my lines, I can refer to my notes. If my voice trembles, it shows I'm human. If people look bored, I can adjust my delivery. By preparing for these specific scenarios, the overarching fear becomes less overwhelming. Carnegie's wisdom here is not about eradicating fear entirely, an unrealistic goal, but about changing our relationship with it. Instead of letting fear dictate our actions and paralyze our potential, we learn to acknowledge its presence, analyze its components, and then proceed despite it. This approach fosters courage, resilience, and a deeper understanding of our own capabilities. It empowers us to confront challenges head-on, knowing that even in the face of our deepest anxieties, we possess the inner strength to persevere and thrive. The act of moving forward despite fear is the ultimate triumph, turning a potential weakness into an undeniable source of power. The power of 1% improvement. Dale Carnegie presents a powerful and accessible principle for self-improvement, the 1% improvement principle. He advocates for trying to become just 1% better each day, rather than burdening yourself with the overwhelming pressure of trying to change everything at once. This seemingly small incremental approach is a testament to the idea that consistent, minor adjustments accumulate into significant, transformative results over time. Consider the practical application of this principle. If today you manage to meditate for just 5 minutes, even that small act constitutes a victory. If, instead of procrastinating a difficult task, you complete it today, that too is a meaningful step forward. These are not grand leaps, but rather tiny, deliberate movements that, when compounded over days, weeks, and months, create a substantial and often miraculous shift. Carnegie famously states that small steps cover long distances, and small victories make big dreams come true. This emphasizes the cumulative power of incremental progress, suggesting that the journey to significant achievements is paved with consistent minor efforts. This principle underpins the idea that from today onwards, you should set a small, achievable vision for each day, rather than striving for instant perfection. The pursuit of perfection can often be paralyzing, leading to inaction out of fear of not meeting impossibly high standards. By focusing on just 1% improvement, you make the goal attainable, reducing anxiety and increasing the likelihood of consistent effort. This approach fosters a sense of continuous growth and development, making the process of improvement enjoyable and sustainable. It acknowledges that true progress is a marathon, not a sprint, and that steady, deliberate steps are far more effective than sporadic, overwhelming bursts of effort. Furthermore, Carnegie reminds us that we must create our own magic in life. No fairy will arrive with a magic wand. No prince on a white horse will come to rescue us. If you wish to make your life beautiful, the journey must begin today, right now, in this very moment. This journey is built upon small decisions, subtle shifts in perspective, and minor actions. He illustrates this with a poignant anecdote. A man who every day on his way to the office would pass an old, withered, colorless tree. The sight of it irritated him daily. One day he suddenly thought, "Am I ruining my mood every day by cursing this tree? What if I chose to see beauty even in this tree?" He looked at the tree closely. Its thick, gnarled branches seemed like the painting of an old artist. A small bird's nest sat on its branches. The sunlight filtering through the dry twigs created a beautiful, magical effect. From that day on, the man smiled when he saw the tree, and his entire day began to change. Carnegie's core message here is profound. The world remains the same. Our perspective changes, and with that, our world changes. This highlights the incredible power of our internal state in shaping our external reality. Therefore, the next time you encounter a problem, try to see it as an opportunity. Within every difficulty, there is often a hidden strength. In every darkness, there is always a glimmer of light. This isn't about naive optimism, but about cultivating a proactive mindset that seeks potential and growth even in challenging circumstances. It's about understanding that our internal lens fundamentally shapes our experience of the external world, and by adjusting that lens, we can transform our reality. Dale Carnegie reveals that happiness is not a grand celebration, nor is it a major award. Instead, happiness is intricately woven into the small, often overlooked moments of our daily lives. It's in the fragrance of morning tea, the unexpected visit from an old friend, the first drops of rain, the smile of a stranger, or the quiet satisfaction of teaching yourself something new. These are the moments that truly compose the mosaic of joy. The common pitfall, however, is that we often shackle happiness with conditions. We tell ourselves, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion," or "I'll be happy when I get married," or "I'll be happy when everything is perfect." But Carnegie delivers a stark reminder. If you don't learn to be happy today, you won't be happy tomorrow either. Happiness is a habit, and habits are formed now, not later. They are cultivated through consistent, conscious effort in the present moment. Carnegie suggests a practical exercise to cultivate this habit. Every night before going to sleep, write down 3 good things that happened during the day. These can be incredibly small, even seemingly insignificant. For example, today I had lunch on time. Today I called my friend and brightened their day. Today I was able to work all day without complaining. Gradually, by consistently focusing on these positive aspects, your mind will begin to shift its attention from negativity to appreciation for the good. This simple practice reprograms your brain to seek out and acknowledge positive experiences, fundamentally altering your outlook. Now let's address the crucial question of how to transform your job from a mere occupation into a profound mission. Carnegie asserts that if you perceive your work as a burden, it will perpetually remain a burden. Conversely, if you view it as a service, it will become a blessing. Imagine a person who makes shoes. If they think, "I just make shoes," their work will quickly become tedious. But if they think, "I provide comfort and happiness to people in their lives," that very same work transforms into a mission. Carnegie encourages you to connect your work to a larger purpose. Ask yourself, how do I make a difference in people's lives through what I do? Whether you are a teacher, an engineer, a doctor, or a writer, every profession in some way contributes to making someone's life better. The key is to consciously feel and embrace that connection. Once you understand this, each day will begin with a renewed sense of energy, because you will then be working not just for money but for a higher purpose. This shift in perspective infuses your daily tasks with meaning, making them more fulfilling and inspiring. Now is the time to share the final thought, Dale Carnegie's ultimate message that still illuminates millions of hearts today. Believe in yourself. Live each day with full intensity. See the good in others. Find happiness in small things. Learn from your mistakes. Cherish your relationships. Make gratitude a part of your life. And most importantly, fully embrace this moment, because this moment is your true life. And when you completely adopt this way of thinking, suddenly every day, every moment becomes a celebration. A journey where you not only live life but truly feel it, deeply love it. So, my friends, today you haven't just heard the story of a book. Today you have touched that power within you that perhaps the dust of time had covered. You have felt that happiness is not a distant mountain peak, but is right here in this very moment. You have learned that every small smile, every small victory, every small mistake is also a beautiful chapter in the story of your life. And now, the question is not what you can do. The question is, when will you start? Because remember, every day when the sun rises, it doesn't just bring light. It brings another opportunity to become better, to live your dreams, to embrace yourself. So with the first ray of the next sun, will you promise yourself that from now on you will live every day to the fullest, that you will feel every breath, that you will awaken the hero within you who can change the world? This is the beginning of a story that the world will want to hear. But first, you must live it yourself. So let's take the hand of your dreams and embark on that journey where the path will be even more beautiful than the destination. From Inspired Digest, I tell you, you have everything you need within you. Just take one step forward and see how magic happens. I won't say goodbye now, because this is a new beginning. We will meet again on the next page of your next story. Until then, be happy, keep growing, and embrace life with all your heart.